What is happening, Swoldier Nation? Today, we're tackling my favorite body part to train, shoulders. And most of you probably are wondering why that's my favorite. You know, for shoulders, there's so many different angles you can train them from. Obviously, the main function of the shoulders is to be able to move the arms in any plane, any angle, anything you want. So training shoulders is really unique in that you can train them with so many different exercises, so many different ways, machines, cables, free weights, all really work and do a great job of forcing the shoulder to work in so many different angles. So shoulders is where I get creative, but there is some basic foundation principles that you need to know the shoulder. So I just got my warm up in. I did a little active stretch, a little footwork, trying to stay athletic in this whole prep. I'm about 8 weeks out from the Olympia. Staying really functional as well. So you saw me do my ladders, some jump ropes, some push-ups, just some body weight squats, and then as well as my arm bands. Just because that's what it's about. It's about being athletic, looking good, feeling good, doing your thing. So today, basic shoulders 101, classes in session with me, Steve Cook, the BMOC, Swoldier Nation. Hopefully I can add on to that Mr. Olympia 2013 men's physique. That's why we're here. So first and foremost, shoulders. The basic principle, first movement, just a press. So we're gonna talk about shoulder width versus shoulder development. I find that I'm not super wide in the shoulders, but I'm fairly wide for being 6 feet tall. You know, shoulder width is something I always have to concentrate on, but Steve Reeves had really wide shoulders, so that nice, tiny, narrow waist, and that's why he's my favorite. But someone like Arnold had more of a sloping shoulders, more hanging. Reg Park, the same thing. So Sean Ray is another bodybuilder that didn't have very wide shoulders, but they made up with it with proper shoulder development. So things like those lateral raises, really concentrating on that medial outside head of the shoulder to give you that capped look on stage. That's crucial if you don't have very wide shoulders. And even if you do have wide shoulders, you can give them more width through exercises like that. Now, we're gonna talk about priority principles as we get more into advanced training. That's where we train, the weakest part of our shoulder first. But for this basic shoulder exercise video we're gonna be doing right now, I'm gonna show you the presses, because that's the one that usually someone in the gym should start off with. It's a compound movement. So with shoulders, we have presses, and then we have raises. Raises to the front, raises to the side, raises to the back. All these are going to be developing the different heads in there. We need to be doing them from the very get-go. Presses include, dumbbell presses, machine presses, push press, like we're going to be doing today. I even do some behind the back. We'll touch on all these as we get more into advanced training and why do I do them. But for today, just going to be pretty basic. Going to be learning the fundamentals, clean and pressed, first and foremost. Let's get started. Sorry. heavy bars in here. And if your gym doesn't have an area like this is Idaho Athletic Club, and this is great because we're in the basketball area. I know you guys saw me beat Chad in here one time in Pig, but they had this very functional looking area too with tires. It's more of a CrossFit area. It has bumper plates, and that's why I'm down here, because I'm gonna be starting off with the clean and presses. I'm gonna do my cleans today from the ground. Growing up playing football, it was always a hang clean or a power clean, and it was all about getting the weight up there. We didn't really stress form like we should. The little CrossFit that I've done, talked a little bit more about form. So first and foremost, we always preach proper form first. Now, I don't have perfect technique in the clean, and I'm gonna tell you that right now. You know, when I get the weight up here, it should be rolled back on your fingertips, and you know, just my range of motion isn't what it should be. So that's something I'm working on right now. But it's fairly good enough to you know, have a beginner look at and try to duplicate. But again, starting from the ground, real light. So if you're a beginner and you have some bumper plates, great. If not, you can do them in the hang clean station, just upstairs, or in the free weight area at your gym. So we're gonna be warming up, and that's gonna require 3 sets of just feeling it out, feeling proper form. And then we're gonna be doing 3 working sets as well. Just like you would in a deadlift, keep that butt underneath you, explode up. And once we get it to here, we're gonna push press it back up. Beginners learning how to clean the weight up for those push presses. You know, I didn't do it on every rep there because it's a shoulder day, but I'll have days where I come in and just work on cleans on those power days. So on each set, you're doing 1 clean to get it up. Let me stay there, just warm up. Are you growing? Are you progressing? You know, in the gym, it's are you feeling it? If you're not growing, you know, you have to look at eating, sleep, all these different aspects. But if you're not feeling it in the gym, you have to look at your form. You have to look at, you know, are you using too much weight? So this is where a notebook comes in. Just record everything. Brought your belts, but you have a belt, you know, this is a movement. A lot of pressure on that lower back. I just like to use a belt on any time I'm really exerting a ton of force down there and just being a little bit taller. My lumbar area, my spine there is always an area of weakness. Also, if you have weak wrists, use wrist straps. As I get heavier, I might use these. Not for right now though. So again, keep that butt underneath you, weight the bar really close to your body the whole time. And that really was a good form there. Because it's light, I kind of just powered it up where it really should be a front squat up. That's a bit better. What I'm worried about right now is this first set. head upstairs to the more traditional area. All right, so for a couple other of the pressing movements that I do, if you guys have watched my videos before, you guys have seen me do these next ones. An Arnold dumbbell press. Now for these, we're gonna be bringing a little bit more of the medial deltoid in, because as we press it up in an arcing motion, we're gonna be rotating our wrist and using more of that medial delt. So find a bench that has back support on there. Starting with your elbows and dumbbells, your wrist directly facing back towards you. You're gonna be pressing these up in an arcing motion. I'm just doing these nice and slow, and you'll notice I'm finishing with my pinkies tilted up, my thumbs tilted down. And that's just gonna allow you to kind of cap off that delt. And so from here, you're really using a lot of that front delt, and then right about here, that medial delt starts coming to play a little bit, and you press it back up using that front delt. So it's kind of a pressing movement that involves that medial delt, and not a lot of pressing movements do that. It's really important that you cap it off at the top, and you're not extending all the way. It's right here, keeping the tension on that deltoid.
Cody to the front desk.
So another one you'll see a lot of bodybuilders doing, especially old school bodybuilders, behind the neck presses. So I'm gonna take it just outside shoulder width, too close, or we'll be using too much triceps, too wide, you can't get full range of motion. But again, we're gonna be keeping the tension on our deltoid the whole time. We're not locking out on top. Just stretch it, elbows all the way back. You might have to adjust the seat a little bit so you're feeling it right. With my elbows, I keep pushed back. I don't let them come forward, force them back. But right there, back up. Now, I have 15 pounds here. I'm gonna be doing 4 sets. So this one's kind of just to feel it out. I'm doing 4 sets, 10 to 12 reps. But you'll notice, I never let the dumbbells relax by my side. That's not keeping any tension on your shoulders, so I'll never bring them closer than that. But as you come up, you want to squeeze it at the top. Arms are almost perfectly straight. No bend in the elbow. I'm not doing these, no. We're straight here, almost all the way perfectly straight. Not quite locked out, but almost straight. And as you come up, pretend you're pouring out a pitcher of water. Thumbs go down, pinkies come up, elbows rotate a little bit, and just squeeze it. Should be really squeezing at the top. Next up, we're gonna be doing our dumbbell rear delt flies. So on these, we're gonna be bent all the way over, starting at the bottom. Starting now at the bottom. Now we're here. No, starting at the bottom. As you raise them, it's natural for people to want to pull back with them and really start involving more of that back muscles. Really try to almost go forward towards your head. Again, turning the wrist to where the pinky's higher. It doesn't take a whole lot of weight to activate that back of that deltoid, that posterior deltoid. In the future, if you start seeing your anterior deltas getting out of proportionately larger than the rest of it. You know, you can substitute these in for a different lateral or posterior delt, but I just want to show you guys just that front raise. So again, I don't like to ever rest my shoulders. You know, nothing's working here, so I always will keep the weight out in front. Raise it nice and slow. Sets here. First one's kind of a warm up and pyramid up the weight like we do in so many of our exercises. But again, kind of hard to screw up a dumbbell or a barbell shrug. Neck up, you're just doing these 50 this way and then 50 like this, so you get your yes nose right this way. And again, you know, if you don't want a bigger neck, that's fine, but I notice that, you know, a lot of people when they diet, you know, they start losing, you know, they look like they have pencil necks. Your neck should be, you know, as big as your arms and to match your calves. Right back into our shrugs. And again, yes nos, they're optional. I don't do them all the time. I just throw them in there when I feel like it. Starting to get puny neck as I diet. And since spring contest prep, I'm feeling like that a lot. Again, on these, make sure it's straight up, straight down. None of this little bouncing motion. All the way up, all the way down. It. Deltoids and trap training 101. Give it a try. As you get used to these exercises we've done today, start alternating in some of those other ones. You know, it's all about building that big symmetrical wide shoulders to those narrow waist. Genetically, you know, you've been given your set of shoulders, how wide they are. That doesn't mean you can't add on to them with creating that width, that illusion of width there. You know, it's up to you. Go out and do it. You guys, there's tools, you know, we've given you the tools, stuff everywhere. Try it out, work hard in the gym, and again, it's all about you. It's a personal journey. Fitness is a very personal journey that you have to decide what works for you. But anyhow, Steve Cook, Swoldier Nation, you guys have a good time training deltoids and traps. I'm out.